This is flirty, dirty, and bookish.
Welcome to the dark side.
Listen if you dare.
So before we get into the series, we wanted to let you guys know that there is a lot of spoilers. So if you have not read the series and you don't want spoilers, please don't listen. Go read them first and come back. Also, if you like spoilers, feel free to listen because you're just like me and I love spoilers.
Also, there's a lot of triggers in these books. We just wanted to give you guys a heads up. We're not going to discuss what the triggers are right here, but they will be talked about in the episode. Yeah, because we would spoil it if we did. However, if you want to listen to the episode and you don't care about spoilers, but you want to know what the triggers are, you can just go look at the book and read the trigger warnings first to make sure that you're okay with everything we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I feel like we try our best to say, trigger warning before we start talking about something that could be triggering to people. But when you're mid-conversation and you go on a little bit of a rant, sometimes it can be hard. So we just wanted to put this at the beginning just to let you guys know that will be involved in these next few episodes. So, yeah, just so you guys are aware. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Black Hallows. Okay, so we are now officially into Black Hallows. Top tier series?
God tier. It's God tier.
Okay, sorry, God tier. Jesus. It is by Wright. The first 3 books are technically a trilogy in the 5-book series. And they're all about Marcus and Elle. So the book starts off with a flashback of 3 years ago where Elle was taken and raped by her friend Asher's older brother named Greg.
And it was orchestrated by Asher's father, Elliot.
Yeah.
And this resulted in Elle, the main character, having to leave Black Hallows.
She leaves the town for 3 years. And the book starts on the first day of school, and she is coming back.
Now, just for context here, Asher saved Elle. He was not a part of it.
Yes.
He did not want
We love Asher.
Anyway. We love him. Yes. It's just the rest of his family that sucks. Donkey balls.
Yeah. And his mom's not in the picture. So it's just his dad and his brother.
And they were, 14 when this all happened?
She was 14, yeah. So it's the first day back at school, and she is walking into the school, and she comes across...
So there's also, there's 2 sides of town. There's, the north side where she grew up, and that's, the super rich town and everything. And then there's the south side where it's, trailer parks and all that stuff. When she returned, she didn't want to go back to school on the north side because she didn't want anyone to know she was back yet. So she's at school on the south side. So she doesn't know anybody here besides one person she's aware of.
Yeah, she's one person. His name is Marcus. She calls him River. And she's walking into school, and she is stopped by, sort of. I guess you could say stopped by.
She's kind of blocking the way into the school. And he's there, and he goes, "You gonna go in?" Or?
Yeah, he's like, "Are you planning on going in, or are you just gonna block the way all day?" So his name is Jace, but this is how she describes him. An Adonis, I'm just gonna read word for word. She said, "I turned to find an Adonis smiling back at me with a smug grin on his face. I'm not joking. That is the only way to describe the pure perfection of this guy. He's tall, easily over 6 feet, with a lean, muscular frame, his hazel eyes slowly assessing me from head to toe. His dark blonde hair is long and tied into a messy bun at the back of his head. He's got one ear pierced and a half a joint hanging from his lips, looking like he doesn't have a care in the world."
We love Jace.
We love Jace. And then, whenever they go inside, she goes and talks to the principal. The principal's on her side. He knows everything that happened. So that's kind of how she is let into the school and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And also so River, that's at the school. So River was like her childhood best friend, but also like her first love. She's his first love. But his dad helped Asher help her escape all those years ago. And he ended up being murdered for it. And
by Asher's dad,
Asher's
Elliot.
father. Yeah. And so, and Marcus does not know what happened. He doesn't know what happened to her. He just thinks she abandoned him. But he also thinks that his father was murdered because of her, which isn't technically wrong, but he thinks it was because she like purposely made a decision knowing that his dad was going to be killed
because Greg, Asher's brother, like literally turned to him and was like, you can thank Elle for the reason why your father's dead, basically, or blame her or whatever.
She had a choice to make and she chose wrong. So he
hates her.
He hates her, which with the information he has, okay, but like, it's not.
Well,
correct.
also too, his mom died during childbirth, so it's just him and his dad. So he got put into foster care, and he has no money anymore, and it's just a whole fucking shit show. And he blames her for everything.
Yeah, which is why he's now on the south side, because he was put into foster care.
Yeah. And then so Elle is walking out of the principal's office after just like talking whatever, and she walks into what she describes as a hard and hot as fuck body. A broad chest, strong arms bulging against a white button down, and then she goes, "Fuck me sideways. Is everyone in this school a godlike specimen? What the hell is in the water in this place?" So this is Lincoln.
We love Lincoln.
She describes him as Clark Kent because he's wearing glasses and he wears like a button up and like tucked into his pants and everything. Whatever, they talk a bit. And
yeah, what are you wearing, Lincoln? You're like 18 years old.
Yeah, I know. And she's walking to class and she hears like moaning from an empty classroom. She goes, "Really? It's the first day of school. They couldn't wait till after the first fucking period." So she follows it, like any curious girl would. She looks into the classroom and it is Marcus, or River, getting his dick sucked in the middle of class.
Horribly.
Oh yeah. He's like, in his POV, he's like, "This is a sloppy fucking blowjob, but whatever."
I just need to get the tension out.
Yeah. And then they just have a confrontation and he's like, "I fucking hate you," and she's like, "I'm not here for you," blah blah blah. So those are the introductions of the main characters. So Elle is back in Black Hallows for revenge on Elliot and Greg Donovan, Asher's brother and father.
But not just them, because after she ran away, she ended up discovering that they were running like a sex trafficking ring and all these things, and it wasn't just her, and other girls were being taken, and some of them were being murdered, some of them were being sold, and so Asher was kind of like their inside man. So she's gathered all this intel, so she's back to not only take down Elliot and Greg,
take down the whole operation,
which includes people like the mayor, lawyers,
the police commissioner, the state attorney. And so she has been training for the last 3 years on hand-to-hand combat, how to kill somebody, all like tech everything, and she's on this mission to kill these people. Well, her first kill doesn't really go as planned, and he gets the upper hand.
They called him the octopus.
Yes, because he's the one that would grab all the girls.
Yeah.
And Lincoln comes in and kills the man and saves her. So Lincoln has a backstory that we don't quite know about yet, but he helps her, and then he is brought into the fold because she now has to admit, he's like, "What the fuck were you doing?"
Yeah. And then we also end up learning the reason he was following her in the first place and was there to help is because Zach, who's the person who took her from Black Hallows 3 years ago, so Zach is this tech billionaire. He's in his early 20s. The rebels, so Lincoln, Marcus, and Jace all work for Zach, but the one close enough to Zach to for Zach to trust him to have him follow Elle was Lincoln. So Zach actually hired Lincoln behind Elle's back
to keep an eye on her.
Which in this scenario was a good thing, even though she's like, "I had it handled. I would have been fine."
And he's like, "Oh, are you sure about that? I don't know." And to be honest, I don't really know either. I think she was a little bit in over her head in
Yeah.
that situation.
But she's also like, just so you know, like, you cannot repeat anything to Marcus. Marcus can't know about any of this because she wants to keep him out of it because she thinks keeping him out of it keeps him safe.
Well, yeah, because once he's in it, he's gonna learn everything that happened, and then he's gonna go and try and get revenge on his own, and she doesn't want
Without
that.
thinking.
She has a whole ass plan.
And then, so Lincoln and her start working together. They go out on stakeouts, all this stuff, and
Marcus is confused as fuck. 'Cause he's like,
he
why
doesn't
are
understand
you
where they're getting so
friends
close.
with her?
Jace is constantly trying to be friends with her because he liked her from the get-go, and is always calling her like princess and like wants to be friends. And she calls him playboy and all this stuff. She's
Pretty
trying
boy,
to keep
not
pretty
playboy.
boy. She's trying to keep him at a distance as well. She doesn't want to bring any of them into this, but she was kind of forced.
Lincoln was already into it
Yeah.
from Zach.
And then, yeah, so she just continues to work with Lincoln. And Asher, who's not super happy about Lincoln being brought in, but at the same time, Lincoln doesn't 100% know what's going on with her and Asher. Everyone thinks her and Asher are dating, and she's kind of just letting them think that to keep Marcus
At bay.
Like, stay the hell away. Like,
yeah,
nothing.
It doesn't work for very long.
No.
Because
then,
she admits to Lincoln that her and Asher are only friends.
She does, yeah.
She also says something about being a virgin, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then that clicks where he was, I think it was Jace, was like, well, how is that possible?
No.
You're with
So,
Asher.
yes, you're right. Half right. So they go to this party at this like warehouse because Elle needs to kind of like look like she's fitting in. So she obviously doesn't talk to the rebels the whole time. She goes with Asher,
And she wants to talk to like some of the girls who might be involved in like what's going on, and just kind of hear the talk of the town of people their age, because those are the girls that they're taking.
She also needs to try to make it look like she has friends so that she can get closer to what's going on the North Shore North Side without her having to actually go to school there. So she's at this party with Asher. She reunites with one of her childhood friends, her only female friend growing up, which is Taylor. We love Taylor. And then at this party, Marcus throws a goddamn hissy fit because he sees her coming with Asher. So he assumes that they're together. So he like storms out. And then somehow Elle and him end up outside together at the same time. He kind of like pins her up against the wall and it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what's happening? But she ends up having like this panic attack because he puts his hand around her throat. And so she has panic attack. Asher comes, saves her, takes her home, and Lincoln and Jace are kind of like, what the fuck, Marcus? Like, what are you doing? He goes, she was fine, and then the next second she's on the ground. So this
is when Jace really is like, something's going on.
Something's going on. Something's not right. Like,
and obviously Lincoln has a good idea.
Yeah,
because of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So he's not going to say anything.
And then Marcus is completely confused, and he's completely blinded by his hatred to her because of what happened to his dad, that he won't let himself see these things that his friends are seeing.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, Marcus, like, you
like,
need to,
something else is going on.
Yeah,
you just need to talk to her. Like, you need to, like, and he's like, no, screw that. Like, she's the reason my dad's dead. And they're like, oh my god, like, there's something else going on here. And then, so the next morning, her and Asher are like working on training. She's trying to feel better about what happened the night before. And Lincoln shows up with information. And this is the first time Lincoln comes to her house. And he's in the room with her and Asher. And in comes this little 3-year-old girl.
Calling
Mommy,
them,
Daddy, look what I made. So Lincoln is standing there like, what the hell? So there's this little girl named Cassie, who's adorable.
Yeah.
Love her.
She calls Lincoln Superman because of his glasses.
Well, actually, Elle's like, you know, Lincoln has a secret too. Like, she was trying to make her feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
So Cassie's obviously been hidden for most of her life for safety reasons. So, like, she's not used to being around strangers. So Elle kind of makes her feel better. And it's like, Lincoln has a secret too. He's a superhero. He's Superman. So then after that, every time Cassie sees him, she's like, Superman!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so cute. But, yeah, so we learn that what happened that night 3 years ago resulted in Cassie.
Yeah. So that is why she calls Asher Daddy, because, well, technically he's her uncle, but he was there when she was born, and he said at 15 years old, I will take care of this child like it's my own.
And Elle asked if he would be her dad.
Yeah.
So we love Asher.
I know.
He's the best dad too.
Yeah, he just loves
Cassie
her so much.
idolizes him, like absolutely loves her dad.
Yeah.
And then so Lincoln's kind of like, okay, mommy, daddy, what? So Helen comes in, she takes Cassie out, and he kind of gets the rundown on, okay, this is
Of
what
exactly
happened.
what
Greg
happened.
Donovan is Cassie's father.
Yeah.
And he's like, now you're actually in Lincoln's POV for this, and he's like,
she needs to fucking tell Marcus.
he's like, she needs to tell Marcus, but not only that, in his head, he's like, I will protect these two with everything I have.
Yeah.
Like, I will die for Elle and Cassie. Like, he just met Cassie, barely knows Elle, and he's already decided, like,
yeah,
she has been through enough, and this little girl is too precious. I will die for them before I let anything happen to either one of them.
Yeah. So she's fully now has Lincoln on her side.
Yeah. And then so Lincoln kind of like spends the rest of the day there with them, and then later that night they're supposed to go on a stakeout mission. Asher can't go with them on any of these things because if he's seen with them doing these things, his cover's blown.
Which is so strange to me because he showed up on the first day of school.
That's the only time he was seen in public with her.
Yeah, but why? What, like...
He covers it up with Greg, saying that he was messing with her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He is able to do that because he doesn't show himself with her enough to the point
Yeah.
where they'd actually be suspicious something was happening. And at that point in time, no one knew she was back in town yet.
Yeah, and he was probably being like, oh, I was just, like, keeping an eye on her, whatever.
Yeah, heard she was back, wanted to make sure she wasn't up to anything kind of
Yeah.
thing. So obviously he can't be seen on his stakeout with one of the rebels, Lincoln, and Elle. So he has to stay at home, and he's just in their ears, kind of like their lookout from home. Okay. So then they're on this stakeout, and Lincoln is flirting with Asher. And we find out that Lincoln's gay.
Yes.
And they're on this stakeout, and Asher's super uncomfortable about it, which I think is one of my favorite parts. It's just how uncomfortable Asher gets every time Lincoln flirts with him, and this is the first time Lincoln calls him Dark Prince.
Yeah, if that gives you any insight on Asher's personality, that's exactly what he is.
Asher's psychotic. He's constantly promising to, like,
Rip
either
someone's heart out, boil their limbs in acid, I don't know.
or like deliver organs in a jar to Elle. Like, just he's
psycho.
Completely psychotic together. So while they're on this stakeout, they end up having to jump ship because Lincoln gets a call from Jay saying Marcus is super fucked up. Like, you need to like get your ass here to this place called the Ring. It's like this fighting place that Marcus and them secretly own. But so Marcus is there fighting right now, and like he's super drunk, and Jason's like, you need to come. And then he goes, why the hell are you with Elle right now? He's like, anyway, I don't want to know. So they show up. Elle helps them get Marcus home. They get him to bed. She helps stitch up his wounds, and he's like confused, but he's too drunk to like really care in the moment how she's there. But then the next morning, he's pissed off and is like, okay, what the fuck? Like, why the hell was Lincoln with her last night? And he goes to confront Jace first. Jace is like, I don't know. Okay, I just called Lincoln. She was already with him. I can't tell you any more than that. And then, so
Marcus is just still pissed at her.
Still pissed.
But then
so he's confronted Jace. Then he goes to confront Lincoln. He goes, why the hell were you with Elle last night?
Like, he's like, I can't tell you. Just know that everything is not as it seems.
He's like, you care about her. You know you do. And whatever I'm doing is to protect her.
Yeah.
The rebels kind of decide to take... Well, Jace has already decided that Elle is his family. And, like, wants to be friends with her at all times. Lincoln is obviously already formed a friendship with Elle. So Marcus just decides to bite the goddamn bullet. And he's like,
okay, whatever.
Screw it all. And he claims Elle publicly in front of the entire school.
Yeah.
And she's like, seriously? Really? Like, screw you, dude. Okay, so then Elle, like I said earlier on, I was saying about how she wanted to become friends with some people, and she ended up rekindling her friendship with her old friend Taylor. So Taylor asked her to go to a club, and I was like, this is my perfect opportunity to kind of like seem like I'm fitting in, but I can keep an eye out while I'm there. So she agrees to go to the club with Taylor. She goes to Taylor's house. They get ready together. And they go to leave. And at this point, Lincoln has also already decided that everywhere Elle goes, he goes because he needs to keep an eye on her and make sure she's safe. And he's sworn to protect her with his life. But of course, the boys don't really know what's happening. They just, wanted to go to the club, and Marcus wanted to be near Elle. So they walk outside,
And
thinking
Jace is
Uber's
just
there.
tagging along. Well,
Jace
has like a crush on Taylor.
he has a crush on Taylor. So they come outside expecting their Uber, but lo and behold,
It's the three
Lincoln,
boys ready to go.
Jace and Marcus are all leaning up against Lincoln's SUV, waiting for them. Yeah. Hot. And then so Taylor's like, what the hell? Okay, like, I guess we're going. And Elle's like pissed, but she's like, whatever.
I can't get rid of these fucking rebels for the life of me.
Yeah. So they go to the club. Elle is dancing out on the dance floor with Taylor, and Marcus is like seething, and he just wants to go after her, and Jace and Lincoln are making fun of him the whole time. And Marcus ends up going down to the dance floor because he sees this man like grabbing onto Elle or whatever. He comes down, ends up like beating the shit out of this guy, and Elle eventually pulls him off. And they go into this closet and
Hook up.
They hook up for the first time.
Yeah.
And then he wants her to come back to his place.
So they don't have sex.
They don't have sex, no. He wants her to come back to his place for the night, but she's like, like, I'm here. Like, he can see that she's not going to. So, like, you can bring Taylor back. Like, we can have, like, slumber party.
We'll have a movie night, whatever.
Yeah. So she eventually agrees. She's like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, Taylor's coming. She can still keep Marcus at somewhat of a distance. So they go. They have this, like, they finally get to be teenagers.
Yeah. And they just have, like, an outdoor, like, movie night because the three boys, they were all in foster care, so they don't have families, so they all live together in this loft.
Because they've all turned 18 now, so they aged out.
Yeah. So they all live in this loft, and they go, like, I think it's on the roof, and they just have, like, a outdoor movie, whatever.
And if you're wondering how they have all this money, one, they work for Zach, but the way they started working for Zach is that they had their own, like gang kind of business, like, going on the South Side, which is why they're called the South Side Rebels.
And Marcus is the king of the South Side.
Marcus is, like, the king of the South Side, and then the other two are his, like, court. And so, yeah, so that's where the money came from. And then while they were doing things like that, Zach found Lincoln because Lincoln was trying to find information on Elle for Marcus, so he was doing all this hacking.
He's also
stuff,
a tech genius,
which is like Zach's like, okay, I'll hire you guys, like, to do, like, little jobs for me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they have this money from. They're not just randomly living in a loft. It is explained.
Yeah,
it is explained. They have money. So they're, like, on the roof of their loft, and Taylor's and Jace's, like, sweatpants and sweatshirt, and Elle's and Marcus's, and they're all just hanging out on the roof and, like, by the fire and getting to be teenagers under the stars. And then Lincoln goes to bed, and Jace and Taylor decide to go downstairs and play video games. And then Elle and Marcus end up falling asleep on a lounger after watching the stars together. But unfortunately, Elle wakes up the next morning and is like, oh my god, like, no, I'm getting too close to him. He can never know anything. And she bolts, and she makes a run for it. And then Marcus wakes up by himself. And it's like, what the hell? Like, she did it again. Like, she's run off.
Mm-hmm.
And so Elle ends up going out for, like, lunch with Zach, who at this point we've now learned Zach is her biological brother, half brother.
Yeah, her mom birthed him and gave him up at birth.
Yeah.
And that's how Helen and Arthur adopted him.
Yeah, which is also why Zach came for her, because Marcus's dad had helped put Zach up for adoption, and he always, like, kept in contact, especially after Elle was born, so that way, like, or he kept tabs on Zach, so that
he told Zach that you have a sister, if you ever want to meet her, like, let me know.
So he called Zach, like,
he called Zach and he goes, you're gonna now meet your sister, you have to come and get her,
like, your sister needs you, like, you need to come. So he did, and that's how they met. So Zach is actually Elle's brother, and they have the best relationship.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go for lunch, and then it's in Marcus's POV, and he's, like, going to the bank, doing some work stuff, and sees Elle walking with Zach, and it's like, who the hell is this man? Like, what the hell is she doing? Like,
and he's a billionaire and, like, is in the spotlight, but, like, he's
dumb and doesn't know.
He's just like so blinded by jealousy constantly.
Yeah.
So he follows them home, gets out of his car, and starts screaming at Zach. Like, who are you, Elle? Who is this? Like, you're just a slut. Like, he's saying these horrible things to her. And then Zach, like, finally, like, punches him and like pushes him up against the car and is like, I'm her brother. And he's like,
What the fuck?
what? Brother? But he doesn't have time to panic about that because Cassie comes running out the front door screaming, Mommy. Comes up to Elle. Elle picks her up and he's just standing there like,
She has a fucking daughter?
what the fuck is happening? And then remember how Cassie's scared of strangers? So when she met Lincoln the first time, she was hiding behind Elle's legs until Elle was like, you want to know a secret? This is Superman. And then she was comfortable around him. But nope. Cassie looks directly at Marcus. Remember what Elle calls him? River? She looks at him, says River, and runs right up to him and starts hugging his leg.
Yeah.
And he's like,
What the
who is
fuck?
this kid and how the hell does she know who I am?
And he's like so shocked and he's like, what's going on?
And that's how the book ends, with Marcus standing outside with this little girl hugging on to him.
And Elle says, Marcus, this is my daughter Cassie.
And he's like, what the fuck? And that's the end of the book. And you're also sitting there like, oh shit.
You're also like, what the fuck?
like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
Well, because you're like, what the fuck? How does she know who River is? Like, you know it's Cassie. You know Cassie's Elle's daughter. But it's like, she just ran up, knew who this man was. And it's like, and poor Mark is just standing there like,
She has a brother, she has a daughter. What? Who else is gonna fucking come around
he's
here?
like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And that is how she ended the book. Just ended it there.
Insane.
A pure torture this woman does to us.
Thank God all the books are out because honestly, I don't know what I would be able to do if I didn't have the second book just to read right away.
I know. Those poor people that read it when it first came out. Like, I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel horrible for them.
No, I feel like actually horrible.
Yeah, so what was everybody's favorite part? Are there any parts you want to talk about?
Oh, something that we didn't mention. There is code words for like stakeouts and stuff. And if everything's all fine, they'll say donuts. And if everything's bad, they'll say crab sticks. So that's like crab sticks is like hell is fucking all hell is breaking loose. Like, come fucking help me. Or donuts is like everything's fine. Don't know why those two words are, but I mean it is what it is. The fact like how Asher just at 15 years old or 14 years old got her out of there, was smart enough to so basically how he got her out of there was he heard his dad talking about Elle, and him and Elle were friends as kids. Like him, Marcus, and Elle were like a trio, but he was always closer to Elle. Marcus and him kind of like had a love-hate relationship.
And not so much even from Asher's side. It was because Marcus like wanted Elle to himself.
Yeah. And so he heard his dad talking about Elle, so he followed his dad out to this like warehouse place where they take all their fucking girls or whatever.
But Asher didn't know this yet.
But he followed his dad because he's like, what the fuck's going on with Elle? He sees what was happening. He was there. He watched the entire thing, watched Greg and his friends hold her down and
do all these things to her. And he had to look like he was enjoying it. So he had to look at his, because if they found out he wasn't, then, you know, they're gonna do something to him. So he had to act like he was enjoying it, knowing it was the only way he would be able to save her. So poor Elle's looking at him like, what the hell is like, why is my friend also hates me? And it was like and so he's like watching,
and then he
his friend,
got Marcus's dad, and that's how they got out of there.
And the reason he went to Marcus's dad, because obviously your first thought is like, why wouldn't he go to her parents? Is that he went to go to her parents, but heard his dad talking to someone and realized his dad was in a room with her parents, and that her parents were well aware of what was going on.
Yep.
So he went to Marcus's dad because he was the only one out of all of the like big people of like the north side, the only one that wasn't in that room. He goes, okay, gotta go. I gotta find Michael. I gotta get him.
Yeah. And then, so at 14, that's what this kid did. And then at 15, 9 months later, when Cassie was born, he stands up and is like, I'll be this child's dad.
He already agreed to it before, too, because he was her dad the moment she was born.
Yeah.
He went to Elle and found out she was, because he went to Elle to say, I'm so sorry, Michael Riviera has been killed. I'm so sorry. And she's pregnant, and he's like, I will protect this kid with my life.
Yeah.
I will protect you. I will protect this kid. And that's when she says, do you want to be his dad? He's not even 15 yet.
Insane, but I can't, like how a 15-year-old could, or 14-year-old or whatever,
Just
has like
watching
the
that happening.
wherewithal to do that
Yeah.
is crazy. But I mean, when you're
put in a situation like that,
yeah,
it's fight or flight. Like,
yeah.
And now they have this like bond of he saved her. This is his best friend. He feels responsible for her now.
Yeah.
And now this little kid who is blood related to him is going to come into the world, and he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine, like, he didn't do that, and Cassie all of a sudden goes like, "Who's my dad?" And then Elle has to either lie or tell her.
Oh God.
Yeah. Thank God he did that.
Thank God.
I think honestly, my favorite part. I don't even know. This book's just so good.
There's so many. Like, I loved when Ash would be like in their ears, like during their shakeouts. Lincoln's just taunting him.
Lincoln's just taunting
So
him.
Lincoln's like taunting him and all these things. And I think one of my favorite things, I actually highlighted it. So Lincoln and Elle were talking about how Lincoln's gay. And Ash just comes over the earpieces. Have you two finished gossiping?
Oh my God, I loved when Marcus sneaks up on Elle and like she's scared by him and she goes, "Fuck me, River, do you have to be so creepy?" And then he's like, all I focused on was the first 3 words, "Fuck me, River."
One of my favorite things that happened in the closet too was another thing that River said, and I literally, my note on it was, "Oh my fucking God, swoon." She said, "I'm not yours to worry about, River," and he said, "So be mine." Like, he wanted her, like, the moment he's just decided, and he doesn't even know that all he's thought was wrong this whole time, and he just decided, like, no, she's mine, I just want her back. Of course, until now he's discovered that she has a child and a brother and all these different things, and he has no idea what's going on. Standing there at the end of the book, like, what the fuck? I also just looked back. I did not realize, you guys, you don't find out that Zach is her brother until Marcus does.
Oh yeah, right.
Literally until he says, "You idiot, I'm her brother."
But you just assume
You
that like
assume it
they're
'cause she said
adopted.
things like, there's this one point when she goes shopping with Lincoln, and her mom corners her, and her mom says something about, "I know what it's like to have to sacrifice a child," and Elle's response to her was, "Yeah, which one, Sarah?" And I even put a note. I'm like, I swear to God, that Zach is her biological brother. And then when Zach said, "I'm her brother," later, my note was, I knew it. Yeah, but I forgot. You don't realize that until like so much later. You also like, they also like were able to, or Jan Wright made it so that you didn't know Cassie was Elle's child until Lincoln learns that Cassie is Elle's child. Before that, it just seemed like, oh, this is like just another child that Helen and Arthur have adopted.
Yeah,
because she gave Cassie their last name, not hers.
Well, they also says, like, when they're like giving the introduction of Helen and Arthur and how they adopted Zach and then the twins, they also say that they acquired
the newest little Royton. Yeah. And that's all she says about her. Or she'll call her mini bestie.
Yeah.
But until the point of Lincoln learning that Cassie is her
and
daughter,
Asher.
And Asher.
Yeah.
You have no idea till that moment.
Yeah.
When she runs and sings "Mommy and Daddy." You're like, what?
I think truly my favorite part of the book was chapter 5, maybe even 4, where Marcus is pissed at Elle's back. So he gets Jason Lincoln.
Just for Jace is a pyromaniac.
Yes. Gets Jason Lincoln to blow the fuck up out of her G-Wagon, okay? And she's not fazed by it. She just laughs about
She
it.
thinks
Calls
it's so
Zach and is like,
funny.
"Hey, I need a ride." And he goes, "Okay, whatever." And she doesn't care. She goes, "It's just a fucking car, whatever.
Which
I'll
makes
buy a new
Jace
one."
love her so much more. That's when Jace fell in love with her.
Yeah, because she's just laughing.
Yeah.
And then the next day or soon after that, she gets people to come to the school and paint Lincoln's SUV, Marcus's bike, and Jace's Dodge Charger pink. And Jace comes out and goes, "This is fucking hilarious." Marcus pissed.
She's sitting like on the hood of her G-Wagon just waiting for them all to come out at lunch.
Her
She's
new
just
G-Wagon,
eating-
that's
Yeah,
what.
she got a new one. She's sitting there like just waiting for the boys to come out, like so excited. She's eating her lunch, and then Jace comes out, sits next to her, thinks it's the funniest shit ever, and just starts stealing her fries and is like sharing her drink with her, and it's like, oh my god, like having the best time of his life. And then Marcus comes out and he's so pissed off. He like drags Jace away from her, and he's like, "I'll see you later." He was not mad at all. He thought it was the funniest thing ever. If Marcus didn't make him have it repainted, I think Jace would have left it pink.
Oh, for
He'd been
sure.
like, oh yeah.
That's the one knew he was going to be one of my favorites. I think my favorite part was the very end when Cassie came running out
And, said,
and just
her.
discovering Cassie. That was my favorite. I wasn't expecting her to have a kid. I don't know why. I just wasn't expecting it to like
Because
play out
the
like
way
that.
Gian writes, she hides her plot twist
Yeah.
so well. You've no idea until just before you might be able to start
Yeah.
to figure it out. Or she'll do like with the Zach thing where you figured the whole time Zach was her brother, but then she throws the Cassie thing at you and you're like, okay, what the fuck? Didn't see that one.
You also just like make like assumptions, like, okay, Zach, she called Zach her brother because she lives with
Yeah,
Helen
exactly.
and Arthur, and like maybe, well, now that she's 18, she's not gonna be adopted, but they like took her in, so she, like, because she calls the twins her brother and sister as well,
And you know
but
what?
they're not blood related.
Exactly. You know what's another one favorite of my parts of the entire series is Helen and Arthur.
Oh, love them.
The way they treat every single one of them like their children.
And they also, Helen and Arthur also come in clutch in the Hollowed Crow series.
Of course they do. They come in clutch all the time.
Yeah. Arthur's a doctor, he comes and helps, and Helen used
Was
to
a
be a
lawyer.
lawyer, so
Yeah.
then she comes in, pretends to be a lawyer, and gets them all out of fucking
Yeah.
prison or
yeah,
whatever,
And
jail.
the other sweetest thing is actually when Elle went to live with the Wrightons, they kept their jobs for a year, and once Cassie was born, they both retired because they had enough money based on their jobs and the fact that Zach is this tech billionaire. They both retired to help her.
Yeah.
With Cassie.
I love them.
And Cassie calls them grandma and grandpa, and she doesn't know any different because those are her grandparents. Like, they're the
Yeah.
ones that have been there since her birth. They're
And
the
she
ones
calls
who-
him Uncle, well, she can't say Zach, so she goes Zaw.
Uncle Zaw.
And Uncle Lo and Auntie Lils or something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I love that Cassie will never know different
Yeah.
than having these people in her life.
What was your favorite part? You never said.
I did. I said multiple.
It's okay.
Sorry, guys. I almost died. So many parts. But I think, actually, now that I think about it, Helen and Arthur. Just them in general.
And they just love each other so much, and they wanted kids of their own, but just had
couldn't
like
have kids,
yeah.
and instead of like letting that just like destroy them, they adopted Zach. And then they heard, because she was a family doctor. Helen was like, or not a family doctor, she was like a family lawyer. So she heard about what happened to Logan and Lily, the twins' parents, and so they took them in immediately. Then
Mhm.
they adopted them. The moment they heard about Al, they took care of her, treated her like their own. Cassie, yeah, they're both amazing people
the found family.
in this book.
It's the
It's
top tier.
unmatched.
Truly,
There's some very close ones, like
Boys of Brayshaw is close.
is very close for
The
me.
Hollow Boys, I think, is close.
Puck Boys,
Yeah,
I would say, but there is nothing the same as
no,
the Black Hallows family.
Uncomparable.
And I don't think there ever will be. I don't think anything could ever
unless
top
there's a
it.
series that we've never read.
I think the only person who could ever top it is Jean Ray if she found another wrote even better one. 'Cause
Mhm.
it's just the way she writes.
Yeah.
Like, you actually really care about these characters. Like, they're real people.
Well,
Sometimes I have a hard time remembering they're not.
Yes, these two, well, mostly one of them. They act like this is like real life, okay? Bawling their eyes out in the car and the couch, everyone like talking like it's a real thing. I'm like, guys, you know this is just a book, right?
Just a book.
It is. It's just a book.
but like, what
It's a great story, but I can disconnect between the two, whereas this one can't, and that one's kind of in the middle.
yeah, I'm in the middle where it's like there's only one part in the series that made me cry, and it's in the last book because I wasn't
when you
expecting
reread
it.
them, you cried at another part, or you got teary-eyed at another part.
No, I got teary-eyed rereading the last chapter of that book. Oh yeah, I had tears in my eyes, but I wasn't full-blown like breakdown like you.
Yeah.
Full-blown mental breakdown,
a
can't even mention
period.
their names, and she's like bawling during a reread. She knows exactly what happens, and she's bawling.
I find that whatever my reaction was the first time I read something, though, it's my forever reaction to that moment, no matter how many times I reread it. But I'm not like that with every book. There's just something about the way that this was written, Boys of Brayshaw was written, both of those books, like, they feel like real people.
Did you
even though
cry
I know they're
during
not.
Brayshaw?
What?
Did you cry during Brayshaw? Did you cry during Devil's Night?
The first time I read it?
Oh, yeah, the first time you read it?
Yeah.
Well, that's just fucking weird.
Only I didn't like, it wasn't like a full blown like, oh my god, like my heart has been ripped out. It was just like I wouldn't say I cried. It was more like teary eyed when the whole thing was going, like, Will the first time, like, going over and then the second time Will was in the water, and then the third time Will was in the water. It's just every time Will was in water, I got
See, those
teary-eyed.
things just start pissing me off. I'm like, okay, really? Like, fuck, why are you writing about this? It's pissing me off. Like, just save him.
Yeah, I mean,
Make
I
me
was
mad.
perfectly fine.
Not that.
I knew he had a book, though.
I knew he had a book too. It was just like the way he was talking and like the emotional damage that was being caused to this man. Like, I loved
I
him.
think
I
you're
don't know.
emotionally damaged.
I'm emotionally damaged, people. Okay, that's why I have problems. I don't know.
Yeah, you get really into it.
I think I've also,
No
out of
offense.
all of us, I've been reading the longest, and I've been reading I've been reading like full blown, like this kind of stuff since I was 12. And so, like,
You're, like,
I don't
in the
know any
world of
different.
it.
And to me, sometimes, like, it feels real, I guess, because I've just been doing
But
it
you'd
for so
think it would
long.
be the opposite. You'd be like,
No.
oh, I've been around it my entire life. It's like exposure therapy. Okay, nothing faces me anymore.
No, I think
That's
I
actually what I
them
love
more.
about reading is that I can close it and go back to my own life.
Yeah, but
Like,
sometimes
I don't put the two together at all.
I like leaving my own life to go into it, and then like I go full blown into it. Like I'm there
You're like a character.
in my head. I am.
I
I was there. I witnessed it all.
sometimes I wish I had the life of the people in the books.
Same.
Depends.
Some of them I'm like, can we switch things?
Yeah. But no, she cries when like series are over. Nothing sad. Just like, oh my god, I'm never gonna be able to read this for the
Only
first time
ones
again.
that like I really loved. I cried when I finished Brayshaw. I cried when I finished Puck Boys. I cried when I finished Black
Fires
Hollows.
Forever.
But why I cried when I finished with Black Hollows was very reasonable.
Black Hallows, yes.
And then I think those are no, that's it. This is the only series I've ever cried over. Those three. So 2 Gian Wright series and 1 Megan Randy. Those are the only ones I've ever cried because it ended. I've never cried because anything else ended.
3's a lot.
Nope. Just those 3.
You didn't cry when Devil's Night ended?
Nope.
Well,
I
that's
was
good.
like frustrated, like I didn't want it to be over. Well, no, because I was like so into that world that like I'm a mood reader, and all I wanted to read was that, but I was done it, and I'm like, okay, now I have to like find something else. And like I was worried I was gonna end up in a reading slump, but like.
And then you
only
had
those
me,
ones
and I
have
would
ever
just
made
give
me
you
cry.
rip your heart out fucking recommendation.
Ever since I met this woman, I can't. Like, I'll never be happy again. She loves to destroy me. I haven't been the same since I finished Black Hallows the first time we read it.
Honestly, thank God I'm not like her, because I would, if I was like that, I would be taking it so hard I wouldn't be able to read it.
That's what we were worried about.
Yeah.
Because me and her had read it before, and you read it. This is your first time ever reading it. Yeah. And we were so worried. We're like, fuck, is this series going to destroy her? I need to see her reaction to one part, and then that'll determine if not. Black Hallows will rip your heart up, put it back together. It's so good. It's perfect. It's literally, there's nothing I would change. That's a lie.
There's one thing I would change.
There's one thing I would change.
There's one thing that, like, I wish I could change, but, like, I understand why it happened, and it was painful, but I get it. But there was one thing that I will never understand why she had to do it. Won't, and we'll get there on number 5, but I can't do it.
But yeah, it's like the most perfect series. Love it forever and ever, and for the rest of my life.
I will reread this series for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those ones. Like, I have very few ones. Like, there's some that, like, yeah, I'll probably reread it, like, once or twice, like, before I die. But, like, this one, like, I
yearly
will reread this, like, 1 to every 2 years. Like, I
Yeah.
have to read. Like, I have to be with them.
Yeah.
Like, I love them. They're what I think about when I'm reading other books. Like, that is why, you know what? I read Boys of Brayshaw after I read Black Hallows. And Boys of Brayshaw, it's not the same thing, but the found family and the characters, they're very similar. And so that's why I cried when it was over, because I felt like I was getting to read Black Hallows for the first time again, but in a different way, a different group of people.
a little bit lighter.
A little bit later, like, different things happening. And that's why I was so connected to that book. If I had read Brayshaw before Black Hallows, I still would have loved Brayshaw, and it still would have been God tier to me, but I wouldn't have had the same reaction to it being over that I did because I'd already read Black Hallows.
Yeah, it's the same, like, feel good vibes.
It was just because I felt like, oh my god, like, I feel like I'm back in, like, that, and like, I missed it. But that's why I was so sad when it was over. But I think if I had read Brayshaw before I read Black Hallows, I wouldn't have had that reaction.
But the difference between Black Hallows and Brayshaw is I strongly advise a palate cleanser after Black Hallows.
Whereas Brayshaw, you're
fine.
You're gonna be okay.
But it's
Brayshaw's last book is a palate cleanser.
Yes. Yeah. It really is.
It really is. Like, the first 3 are they're not as dark as Black Hallows, but there's still stuff going on there. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The 4th one is kind of like a middle ground, and then the last one's very much a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Whereas Black Hallows is just like, oh my god, what is she doing to me? I don't understand.
This all makes it sound really daunting, and like we should.
It's so good, though.
It's so good.
But think about what people say about Boys to Men.
Yeah,
like, people will like be like, this is like heart-wrenching, but it's so good, and people love it. Like,
Boys
your sister is reading it right now, and she absolutely, it's sad, but she loves it, and that's the same as Black Hallows.
Yeah,
it is so underrated. People love her Puck Boy series.
Yeah,
and you need to read Black Hallows.
Well, I think you also need to read Black Hallows to get a better understanding, because
they
Marcus,
show up.
Jace and Asher and Lincoln all fucking show up in that series, and then all of a sudden you're like, who are these random ass people? No.
But for us, it's like, oh my god, my babies, they're here.
Yeah.
We're literally texting each other, did you see this?
Yeah. Oh my god, they showed up. Oh my god, we get new Lincoln, Asher, Elle, Marcus, Jace content.
Like, so excited.
Yeah. And I hope in their next series they will, because they are connected.
She's already shown how they're gonna be. I love that about this. It gives Lee Rivers universe vibes.
Yeah.
I love when books are connected like this, and it's not the same thing happening. Like, the series, like, is obviously like that is that series.
You don't have to read the other ones to understand what's going on.
No, but it just feels so much better when it's like, oh my god, like, I'm sure also, like, Edge of Darkness is just becoming popular now. There's so many people that probably read Little Stranger and Little Liar and was like, who the hell are these people? Whereas for us, we read Edge of Darkness first.
Yeah, we're like, holy shit, Base and Tobias are here.
They're
like,
here,
what the
like,
hell?
They're all here. Like,
and
I
the end
this.
when Cade shows up.
Yeah, and I love when books are like that.
And there's crossovers.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our rant.
Let us know if you guys liked this version. Of
yeah, we were definitely changing up the vibes, because I think it's a little bit more fun.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, and we're going to get into the next book, which is Revenge of a Queen. And that picks up literally
Right where the last one ended.
in that same moment.
that
They're
moment.
still standing on the driveway.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.